Welcome to Kolorflow Conversations. I am Uakeisha, and this is
Tikisha.
You went back to You went back to. You'll only understand if you saw the last episode why I stopped and looked at her. You won't understand. But welcome. If this is your first time joining us, we welcome you to Kolorflow Conversations. We are just two friends that let our conversations flow.
Yeah.
With no topic. But I kind of have a topic today.
I wonder if our topic the same topic.
It's kind of like,
and it's not like we have a topic. It just be stuff that you really want to discuss to see the view. So it's not like it's a topic for the podcast. I hate to say it like that, but it is for the podcast.
It's not really a topic. It's just something that I've been like, I need to talk to her. I think I already know how we feel about it, and there probably is. But this week, there has been multiple conversations online, social media, TikTok, whatever, about another podcast where I think he's a football player.
Absolutely.
Is that what you want to talk about?
Yes, Cam Newton. Yes.
Cam Newton.
Yes.
I just have been so, and my thought, of course, he's been getting like ridiculed and whatever, but of course, I have deeper spiritual meanings about the things that have been said and things that he said and done. And then she interviewed Nick Cannon as well.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that?
Mm-hmm. I saw clips of that.
If you have not seen it, Cam Newton was interviewed by a therapist about him creating broken homes. He has 8 children with 3 different women. And his interview, his thought processes was almost scary to me, because even men and women who don't have broken homes feel a lot of the way that he does. Like, he was telling her that he can change a woman to be what he want her to be. And I was just like, oh, this man got a God complex almost.
But let me tell you what I heard when I hear that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel exactly how you're feeling, but I think of the women who change to be that person, which solidifies what he's saying. You know good and doggone well that you don't like baseball. Yeah. But here you are getting ready to go to that baseball game with your man.
Yes.
And you happy and you went baseball. I like baseball. I go to baseball games. But baseball, you know your son play baseball. That is long. It's quiet.
Yes.
No, people could look at baseball like it's boring.
Yeah.
But I think of that. I think of things that I've done, and I think of the other women in my life who have really not been true to themselves. So it makes the man, especially a man of his caliber, and by caliber, I simply mean finances.
Money. Yeah.
That's what it is. Because I don't know if you heard the clip with Nick Cannon, but his was the one that really pissed me off, because he like, I can send the car, I can do the jet, I can do all of that and show you all of that, and then bam, here go toxic Nick. But my thing was, what are the women that you're dating? Because I have expectations. So
I'll say this, and I think I've said this previously, probably early on episodes. We are now into episode 34. I have said that I was that female that kind of transitioned to whatever their lifestyle was. So if he was into baseball, well, I like sports, so let me take sports out of it, because I like baseball, basketball, I like that. But let's say if he, was into playing golf, because I don't do golf, then I would
I want to golf. I always wanted to.
but I would do what his interest
and is. And it's a difference between doing it because you're doing something new and you want to explore, or absolutely doing something that you know you don't have no interest in, you really don't want to go. It's just like how sometimes people, because I ain't never did this. I'm not going with you on no date for you to pay my meal for me to get a free meal, because I've always valued my time and who I'm with. Mm-hmm. So I'm not that girl, but I know women that will do that. Like, well, I'm about to go and get this meal. It's the same type of thing, just in a different way. So it's women out here that's making him, that's supporting that theory.
Yeah, and it just was so sad to me, because not only was it eye-opening for women, because I feel sorry for the women he have children with. I feel sorry for them because not only is he making dumb comments, he's making them look dumb. And he said, we all got great relationships. They're not, I don't consider them single moms. They're single mothers.
Yes. They're single mothers. Is your status. It's your marital status. Yeah, so you're single.
But he probably feel like he can get any of them anytime he wants. And which is probably true.
It makes me think of our trophy wife type of conversation that we had previously before, because it's just like, I'm a whole human. I'm a person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, can you think about me as a person?
No. And this is what's crazy that he said, and I may not be saying it exactly. He was like, he has a less fear of divorce
than
marriage. Like, sir, what are you talking about? It was just so, and this is what brings me back to, we as a people be getting involved with sexually, physically with people we don't know. And when I think about this, I thought about this a lot as I was watching the clips, because I didn't watch the whole thing, because I was like, I don't think I could have stomached the whole thing. And I think about myself over the years. If the person you're involved with is not a person that you would want your child to be like, character-wise, integrity-wise, not money, take money out of it, just as a person, you should not be having sex with them.
I was watching a movie today, and it said that a baby is the manifestation of a partnership.
Yeah.
And that hit home, and I remember that because it's the truth. Because I feel like I am kind of like him. I created a broken home.
Yeah.
And that's when I told you before, when we talked about the decisions that we make. That was my decision, because I wanted a baby. I didn't say, oops, I got pregnant.
Yeah.
I don't know what old boy was thinking. He probably was just doing what we doing, to do. But I willingly, knowingly knew every step that I was taking to get my baby here. And now that he's here and I'm older and wiser, I realize the effects that it has on him. Because I still got what I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like Cam. He feel like my kid's fine.
Yeah.
They're well taken care of.
Yeah.
They get everything
he got everything he needs.
They got everything they want.
But he missed that growing up in that 2-parent household, seeing that love and that connection, and me even knowing more about his daddy. We only dated for a short amount of time. It's certain characteristics, genetics, and all of this that go into place that I don't even damn know.
Yeah.
And I got another whole human
and
here.
We don't be thinking about
and
that.
You don't think about all of that. And money come and go. That is so like.
We don't be thinking about it. I know I wasn't thinking about it when, I don't even know if I was thinking about it when I got married. As far as, sadly, as far as like character and integrity of a person, a person's nice or whatever. But to look deeper into it, now I teach my children and people that I'm friends with, like, you have to look deeper into, like I said before, like, he was nice and whatever, and I think we were meant to be friends. But as far as relationship, no, it wasn't supposed to be that. And then we created children. So now my children got a broken home. And people hate to say that, but they got a broken home because of, choices that were made. They end up in a broken home. So now I'm desiring them to see a real relationship with love, so they know that God's love can live in a real marriage.
And just this don't have nothing. This just popped in my head, so I gotta say it. Just because you can afford to have babies, don't mean that you should keep having babies.
Yeah. I feel really.
I don't even care if that's with one person. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm married and we got gazillions of dollars. That don't mean that we need to have 100,000 kids, because are we mentally prepared to take care of them and invest in them like we should for them to be good humans? Because like I was telling you when we was talking about the raising a boy, and how I was telling you that I started really thinking about that, because I was like, did my mom raise me to be a woman? Mm-hmm. Because she didn't take me in the kitchen to show me how to cook.
Yeah.
My mother never taught me how to cook. And when we think about it, cooking and cleaning, those kind of like the basics that they throw under the women category.
Yeah.
I knew how to clean. I hate it now. Mm-hmm. So for me, a housekeeper is essential, because I don't never want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to cook either. We know that. But I'm just saying, so it's just like, but I learned so much from watching her and her character. Mm-hmm. Her character. My mother, her and my dad's work ethic, phenomenal.
Yeah.
I don't know if they ever missed a day of work. Like to this day, when I would take days off, because I'm still scared of my daddy, I would be all embarrassed, like I ain't go to work. He'd be like, you ain't go to work? And it's just like, well, I got PTO. I'm going to use it. But I still revert back to that little kid, like, well, yeah, I had some time off, so I just took it.
But look, we just talked about the things that we unknowingly learn
from our parents. From them.
And look how you have been such a diligent, hard worker for other companies all the
years. Time. But it took for my life to shift, for my priorities to change. I'm still in the matrix, so I need a job. I need that income, but it don't run me, and I'm going to use every single last PTO and maybe some unpaid days if I can.
Absolutely. I know.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, just because you can do something don't mean that you should do it. And I know I for sure created a broken home. I don't know the details or how impactful it is right now to my son and what's going on in his head. But because I'm older and wiser, I know how much better it could have been, like if I would have waited till now. So if we teach them early how to be good humans and to pay attention to character, like I don't care if you come over here and you dressed all up. Now, granted, you don't want no bum. We talk about bums before. You don't want no bum, but your character is going to speak way more than if you got that outfit from Target or if you went to Neiman Marcus.
And I intentionally, because I know my children, they wasn't born into a broken home, but a broken home was created. I somewhat know how it affected them in ways because of how we talk. So I am intentionally trying to teach them about the character of a man or woman, because I don't feel like society still don't look at that. Like you be ready to get your fun on, and don't be thinking about what the consequences are. And when I watched him talk, it was just like a revelation. Like we knew it, but to hear it come out of their mouths was like, oh, a lot of y'all feel this way too. Like you really think that because you pay a little child support, and I mean little, that you take care of your kids? Or are you taking care of them mentally? Are you taking care of them physically? Are you taking care of them spiritually? And I'm not talking about just taking them to church, because we know that ain't doing it. We just talked about, we got baptized when we was little, and you thought you was good after you came out that water. Like, I'm saved now.
Yeah, we saved, and we still don't even know what it means to say I'm saved. What does that mean?
So I know what it means. Like now.
That's what I'm saying.
Now. But then
it was just like, I'm saying this like I'm saved. I'm getting baptized. But what?
Yeah, if you're not taking care of your children spiritually, physically, mentally, in every way, then that's a broken home. It's a broken home because God designed it for the man and woman, for the family.
I feel like we need to come together better as people in general, family too, because it's two parents in households where the households are broken
too. Yeah. Yeah.
It's so big.
It's so much.
Yes.
It's so much.
Half of us ain't never really meant to even be parents. Sorry, not sorry.
Listen, now that's the truth. That's honestly the truth.
Just because you can do it again don't mean that you should. Jordan might even think I might not have meant to be a parent. I don't know.
But that's the truth, though. That's the truth. Like, I don't think that Cam is meant to be a parent. But that's my personal opinion because of how at 35, this is how you think. Like, sir, this is how you think. But when I think about it, a lot of people I know personally that ain't even on a financial level, he don't think the same way. Mm-hmm. And you don't have nearly nothing he got. And you think the same way. Like you think this is okay. Women and the women who continue to have babies by different
means. So have you seen the clips with his, I don't know if it's his current girlfriend or not, but have you seen those?
The last baby
like,
mama,
I want to be a like
she wants to serve him. And it's almost like, but that's a soul tie.
Excuse me.
That's a soul tie when I look at her talking about that. Like, girl, you are brainwashed through the penis. Because this man has got up here and embarrassed not just himself, you and every other child's mother he has. And when you say, I'm doing this to serve him, you're serving him? And I'm not saying serving him like he's just a disgusting person. I'm saying he's not even your husband. This man ain't even thinking about marrying you. He just literally told the world, like, he's still looking for his wife. And he just had a baby with you, 6 months ago? And you want to serve him because you think, and this is what we be thinking in our mind, because I know I have thought it, that you're going to change him. That he going to want you because you're doing everything right or doing everything he wants you to do on the surface. You're not going to change him.
I watched a movie. Here we go. A Tubi movie. It's called I Made You. And that was one of the things that makes me think about that too, because it's just like, we think that we do all of these things. He's going to want us. They don't. Mm-mm. They go get with somebody else, and then we're looking like they got the person that we made.
That I made, yeah.
When it's just like, nah.
Mm-mm. No. I have been that person. So I feel I have been the person to do everything that I think gonna make you be good to me or be better for me or not cheat on me, which we know that don't matter. Mm-mm. It don't matter what you do. A person's heart has to be right. A person's character has to be right. A person has to have integrity to be right. And I could be all of these great things. You could be always, and if that person is just not ready or wanting you, they ain't gonna do, they gonna change. It ain't gonna.
No.
Yeah.
You're knowingly allowing yourself to be used. That's all it is.
Knowingly. I tell my children, and I probably said this before. I think I did say this before. Don't live with anybody.
Yeah, you did. Where your mic go? Oh, it's on. I see it. My bad. Oh, sorry, y'all.
I've told them don't live with anybody. I've said don't create I don't want my daughter to be a wife before being a wife. I don't want you to. I feel like it's nice to cook a meal for a man. Don't get me wrong. I think it's nice, but that's not my duty to you if I'm not your wife. And it's not my duty to you even if I am your wife. Because we are partners. It's our duty to make sure we eat.
Yeah. Because as my mother would say, you got to eat to live.
You got to eat to live. You know, every household is different, but I don't want her to think if I live with him, he's going to marry me. If I cook for him, he's going to marry me. If I clean for him, he's going to marry me. Or if I do these things, he's going to be faithful to me, because that's not true. I don't want my son to think I'm going to live with this woman and she's going to be good to me, or that she's going to cook and clean for me, or that she's going to do this.
Because I pay for this.
Because I'm going to pay the bills, so she's going to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want him to grow up thinking that's how life is. I want him to know how to take care of himself. I want him to learn how to seek God for a wife and seek God for a partner that's going to be your friend first, and y'all come to an understanding of what
works for you guys, the dynamics.
What works for you when you get married.
Yes.
Because a boyfriend and girlfriend don't mean nothing.
But that, I feel like, training is not the word that I want to say. What is that? That's evaluation. That's when I'm learning while I'm your friend. It's something where I need to pay attention to when I'm getting to know you.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to marry somebody. I got to know something before I get married. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I need to judge your character and use my discernment ahead of time. And on that first red flag, that is a red flag, because that's another thing I feel like we don't have our minimum requirements. So like she said, she chooses not to date someone with kids. That is one of her minimum requirements, Dr. Bryant.
Yeah.
Whereas he like, oh, so you wouldn't? Oh, I can. But that's not my choice, so I'm not doing that. That's her boundary that she established. And I feel like when you get to know yourself, and we change as people, you know that your requirements and certain things change. Because I know that there are certain people that I would not entertain now that I might have entertained before. And I also know that I have minimum requirements. And I know, and when I say red flag, that means that you're not meeting one of those. So for me, that's enough for me to be like, oh, okay, deuces. Mm-hmm. Because I am trying to see if this person is eligible to be my best friend, because you got to be my best friend if you're going to be my husband. Because to trust you with all of this, I'm precious cargo.
No, that's right. Okay. And you have to see yourself as precious cargo.
Yes, I am precious cargo. I got to be wrapped and wrapped and wrapped and wrapped and wrapped and finally transported safely. This ain't just about you sending no damn car. I don't care about that. I ain't even got no car no more. Listen. It's certain things that I'm going to say, me particularly, and I was raised and living in America, is certain things that we have judged status by and wealth, where it's not he sent the Range Rover to pick me up. It's more for me, he made these plans and he's doing this. How I get there, if it's just the regular, Uber and not the black Uber, it's just like the luxury is not that. The freedom and the time, the things that I can't buy, I'm realizing is luxury. Mm-hmm. To be able to sit here and have this discussion with my friend and see your opinion, to see the views that it can change, and to help me to be a better wife in the future. Mm-hmm. That is a luxury for me. Absolutely. Not how big my diamond ring is going to be.
Come on. And women have to stop thinking that because a man is dating you or taking you to fine places, because I've talked about the
because he dating you, taking you to find places,
that he deserves your vagina. That he deserves he don't deserve that.
He don't deserve that.
So your vagina is worth a steak. And the men got to stop thinking that the only thing that's worthy of you is your penis.
Yes. And that you can give it to everybody, because all these women out here do not deserve your good. They don't deserve your precious cargo.
Everybody has to believe that they are worthy of more.
Yes.
Not just women, men too.
Yes. And whatever that more is, that's a personal thing on you. Because there's certain things, because I remember how I was like that, where I was just like, I would never date nobody with kids. I stood on that. Mm-hmm. Where it was just like, no, you like, I'm going to play around, but here I am, giving my body, my precious cargo, to this man that I know good and doggone well I'm not going to marry.
With a lot of kids.
that I'm disgusted. Let's take it a little step further. I'm disgusted that you are not in their life. But here I am, laid up with you in my house. Make this make sense.
Every night.
Make it make sense. But I'm disgusted because you a deadbeat. And then you making excuses talking about, well, what the woman ain't allowing you to do. Because we good for that.
That part. But the woman is not allowing. Because
but yet you can manipulate the other woman into doing whatever you want. But this one ain't allowing you to see your kids.
And then even if you see
my God.
Even if you see your children and you're with a woman, she can discern your character and your integrity and what type of father you are if you really want to look deep into it. And if you really ain't that good of a father, why are you with him? You know what I'm saying? I know men that have been single fathers that raised their daughters. And I wonder, where is the mama? And if a woman tell you she got 5 kids by 5 different fathers, and she only got 4 in the house, where's the 5th one? Oh, she lived with her dad. You gotta look deeper into that. Like, what would make
the
you
dynamics for that? Because it really could be legit situations and reasons. We're not saying that it's all bad and it necessarily mean that the woman is trash, but at some point we got to be accountable for where we are right now today. Not that, you know, because I'm striving to be that higher version of me, but that me right now today, or that me that I used to be, that literally went out here and just was just like, oh, okay, he giving me his penis and he don't even know that I'm about to make him a baby daddy. Listen. And we ain't even having no conversation about it. We just doing it. But I'm over here consciously trying to create a baby. But we never talked about it. I never had that conversation with my baby daddy. Ever.
I mean, I wasn't engaged or anything when I got pregnant. It was just like, you know, oh my God, I'm pregnant. Well, we might as well get married. We talked about it a little bit, so we might as well. It was no proposal. It was like, okay, let's get married. We started planning the wedding because I was pregnant. We didn't discuss how we was gonna raise the kid. We didn't discuss I wasn't looking at character. We was having fun.
Yes.
We were having fun. And now when you get to a place of where you think about how you want to raise your children, it's like, oh, I made a mistake. And that's how a lot of people are bringing these broken homes, I was about to say children, but you know, into the world, because you got people like him that's getting on TV like, basically, I can do whatever the hell I want to do. And one day I'm still looking for a wife, but until then, I'm going to keep having these babies, basically. You got 8 kids. I look at a man crazy that got 3 with 3 different mothers. And you got 8. And when, because women look at it like, he got money, I'm always going to be straight. I'm good. Sad life. Sad. Nick though, he has some more trauma than what Cam to me seemed to have. Like, he was smiling through the whole thing like it was a joke. Almost like a joke. Like, I was just like, sir, you are in pain. And that's what a lot of people need to realize is we have pain that we are scared to unleash and let go and deal with. I refuse to let my children repeat the cycles of the pain I feel with divorce or whatever. That's why I talk to them the way I do. You're not going to go through what I went through on my watch. I'm never going to let you believe, you know, that this is normal. Divorce is normal. If I get married, oh, well, if it don't work out, we could just get divorced. That is never going to be the solution.
I think the first thing to breaking a generational curse is admitting that it's there.
It's a curse there, yeah.
And if you don't see a problem with having these kids all over the United States of America, then how are you going to break that? You need to recognize that that is a problem, number one, to begin with. Yeah. So the things that we are recognizing and bringing to the forefront in our lives, I believe that that's the first step in breaking that, so it doesn't keep happening in generations and generations to come. Now, granted, our children have free will to make their own minds up, but we are doing our best to instill in them with what we know, whether it's verbally or leading by example. And we're letting them know that we are here. And then they're getting this better version of us that we've even had. So it's just like, yes, it's no way that you can walk away from this and not be better.
And not be better. And not be better.
And especially when you want to be. And I remember, I don't know if this ever came across your For You page, but I know on TikTok somebody came across and they was just like, they want to see them have that same conversation with the healed man. And I was like, I would love to see that, because a lot of times as women, a man don't want to hear what the woman got to say. Mm-hmm. Now, let me tell you something about my life. I don't know if I've ever told you this, and I said this today to my sister, that I think my niece is probably the only person, and I might be wrong because she might not even do this, but typically when I tell her something, she listens to what I'm saying.
The youngest one?
The oldest.
Okay.
Them other ones, I can tell my sister something, then it'll be like, oh, okay, so I was talking to so-and-so and she said, and I was like, oh, my sister said that. Oh, okay, so now it makes sense.
Because somebody else
said it. So it's just like, maybe they need to hear that from a man that's then been there and then possibly changed his life, because we can all change.
Listen to this. I saw someone talk, because this has been a big conversation this week and everybody got views, but one person made I can't remember who it was, that said, think about the people that are creating these broken homes, and think about the people that, and we only know about it because they're celebrities.
Right.
But think about the celebrities that don't have the broken home. Like he said, Kim is a football player, but he's not like a top level football player. Nick Cannon is an actor and got his shows, but he ain't like a top level, everybody know him, but you think about the top level people, Denzel Washington, Samuel L. Jackson, LeBron, in their field. They are not creating broken homes.
I get that. Top level people in their field.
In their field.
I got it.
In their field. Cam is not, he probably is a good player, but he's not top level in his field. When you think top level in his field, I can't think of somebody, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? So spiritually, in their mind, they thinking okay, I could take care of my kids, I'm making money, I'm doing it. And now, he got a podcast and he out here sounding crazy. Nick, I think he got 12 kids now. I don't even know.
Yeah, he do. He has
12
kids.
But what you got? I was about to say Wet and Wild show. Lord.
Wild and Out. I love that show.
Wild and Out show. He's done a couple of movies, but he's not.
Nick done had his hands in everything, just like having 12 kids.
But you got to have your hands in everything when you just trying to make it. You're just trying to make it. When you think of the person who's top low in their field, a lot of the people who's top in their field have been a good family man, a good family woman, haven't had all the scandals, have been successful and don't have to dip in debt.
So they pretty much show discipline throughout all areas of their life. They're stewards to
their family first. They're stewards to be an example, to be a role model, to be, they know they're in the public eye. So they're careful with how they present themselves. They don't say stupid things publicly. And they don't do a lot of public talking. They may show support politically, but it will be politically correct. So they're good people in their field, and they have been raised up because they show discipline. They may not be the most church-going, outright God, but God is blessing them because of they're being disciplined in their field, because they're being disciplined with their family. And you can't tell me, I don't know Denzel to have a bunch of kids. LeBron got his family. Samuel Jackson, he's had the same wife for a year, and he's done movies. He ain't dibbling dabbling everything, and he's able to take the breaks he do because he's been disciplined. And you know what I'm saying, with his wife. His wife has done some show. You can sense that they care about their family. And now Denzel's son is acting, and we don't know much about him. He's watching the example of his father. Then you look at Michael Jordan, who was high top in his field, but he created a broken home.
And his son was on that thing doing the drugs or whatever it was.
And then he was dating Scottie Pippen's wife and whatever. It starts to break down. Now, when he was the family man, it wasn't all this. But then, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think, I look so much deeper into I told you something off camera before about how people are treated and how spiritually they may not see them being knocked down in certain areas of their life. But if you are not doing what you're supposed to do, then you're not being raised up. And Cam may feel like he got a popular podcast, and he probably don't care about that people are saying this about him. Yeah. That's why I think arrogance, pride, and pride comes before the fall. And I'm not trying to prophesy that he's gonna fall, but I'm just saying pride comes before the fall. Arrogance, instead of submitting yourself and saying, you know what? I learned something from talking to Dr. Cheyenne, is her name?
Dr. Bryan, I don't know her first name.
I think it's Cheyenne Bryan.
Okay.
Beautiful lady that was not downing them, was not degrading them, was just saying what you're creating is going to be hurtful in the future to these children. And that's why I take so much time with mine. Like, you know what? I don't want them to look at divorce and think that this is okay. I don't know what goes on in the other household, but I am trying to show them in this household that it's okay.
And having guidance from someone that you trust and love, even if it's not directly a parent, is very important.
Yeah.
And, you know, and again, like, people gonna do what they want to say, because, you know, it's been in the comments like, well, he a preacher's kid and this and
is he?
Yeah. Yeah. But I also think about how you said you told your kids that after I lived with a man, my dad later on told me, never do that. And I was just like, why you didn't tell me that before? Because growing up, I did not have a lot of one-on-one conversations with my dad about life lessons. But what I will say is every time that we've had one, that stuff has stuck with me and I've held it close to my heart. Mm-hmm. So it didn't need to be 100 of them, because all 10 is right here. Yes. And they're my foundation. So you got to figure out how you want to lay the foundation for your children to make these decisions.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because if he would have told me that before, I know how much I admire my father and I look up to him, that I wouldn't have did it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I ain't gonna lie, my mama would have told me that, I would have been like, okay, Ma. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that I didn't look up to her or admire her, but it was different.
Different levels.
And I knew that she was going to be a little bit flexible. And I knew that nothing I could do would disappoint her.
Yes.
And while my dad may feel like there's nothing I can do to disappoint him because he loves me unconditionally, he displayed a different type of parenting. So I did not want to disappoint him. So I act different with him still to this day, because I don't want to disappoint my father. And finally, that falls over into my dating life, because just think about it. It's only been 1, 2 in my entire dating life that has ever been introduced to my dad formally, like, I'm dating this person. 2
really?
Guys, yeah.
I don't even know who they are, because I'm like, you introduced somebody to him?
Yeah. And I think of like high school, the friends that I didn't had to stop by, that's the whatever, but literally like, hey, daddy, come in here. This is so and so. Yeah. Actually, it was one. And to this day, I think remember how I told you I didn't have company and my daddy then came over because he don't call first. He just come with a key. I'm like, I swear to God, if you come out this room, I'm going to kill you. And I meant that.
Right.
Where it's just like, so I know now that the caliber of man that I'm looking for, that if I'm embarrassed to take you to my daddy, I don't even need to talk to you. I do not need to talk to you if I do not want to bring you home. That is my minimum standard.
Mine was opposite because I introduced my daddy to everybody. Well, nobody special because I introduced, but opposite of you, but at the same time the same. I introduced him because I wanted him to give me some advice on someone, and he never did. But I feel like if he had, it would have helped me in a lot of situations. Because one thing about my mom and daddy, they knew who wasn't shit. They knew it. But I think that they felt like you have to go through the process. And what I feel like is different is I am going to tell my children, even though I feel like they got to go through the process.
Yeah, because I tell Jordan, like, come on now.
Yeah,
but
like,
he don't listen and still do it. But I feel like I did my due diligence from telling him, and I'm still going to be there and support him because I feel like, and I don't know if it's like this. No, this ain't what I want to say. I feel like this is when the communication is so, like, you wanted that communication from your daddy. He might have even wanted to give it to you, but it was a barrier there where nobody communicated, where we need to break down these communication barriers from the beginning with everybody in our life, especially these people that we date.
Yeah. I introduced, my dad met, and he'd be like, how you doing? He'd have conversations because he's friendly. He talks to, but I'm sure he can discern. I know he did. Like, nah, but he never said a word. He would let me go through it, even marry him. And then when to be over, he'd be like, all right. No, nothing. It was just, it was just so, like, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
But I believe that.
I think where I'm at now in my life, communication, I realize how important that it is, that for the most part, in almost all areas of my life, I'm going to speak a lot more freely than what I might have before. Like, I want to know your opinion. I want to know what you think because I value your opinion, you as my friend. So just like I would value my dad's, where I'm asking him, certain things versus just waiting. So if when I start dating somebody, I'm going to be asking questions, because let's just say I live out my delusion. I have a crush on someone who has 8 children with 8 different women.
Yes, he does.
But if you present yourself and you're this arrogant Cam, and I'm just adding to the collection, then I got to get out of my delusion and come back to reality, because that ain't it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
people can change.
That's what I was about to say. I want to give grace and know that people can change. That's why right now I won't say I won't date nobody with kids, because I always felt like I couldn't do that, because I was just like, I can never love them like I love my own. And I think that that's very important to raise healthy children, mentally healthy. But when I look at how the people in my life that I really care about, I do love them like I love my own, because there's no level with my love, so to speak. I don't turn my love off because I don't talk to you. I still love you. I feel like my oldest niece, she got more of me than the others may, but I feel like I love them all just like I love my son.
Yeah.
Just like if your son was to call me right now, I don't have that same relationship as I do with your daughter. But if she needed to talk to me, I am going to give her the very best advice that I can. And to be honest, I'm going to use the sermon on if I want to tell you about it if I'm not. Because every conversation I done had with your son, I haven't ran down the details on what we talked about.
Shoot, you ain't run down details on the conversation with my parents either.
You found out something today that your dad told me about years ago.
I was like, he had that conversation with you? But I'm not surprised, but it's almost, girl, I'd be like, everything is God. God knew we was going to come to this point and have this conversation today.
To show how too much in a friendship that you can have a friendship and not share every intimate detail what we talk about. And it just shows you how life really do be aligned.
It come full circle because when I told you that my due date, I just thought about a couple weeks ago of my son was the same day as your son's birthday. You was like, what? I said, yes. And I didn't even think about it when I was pregnant with him that his due date was the same day as Jordan's birthday. But God knew that we was going to end up coming together later in our life and talk about this. But that was only if we stay in alignment. Stayed in alignment on the right path.
And essentially being on alignment in the right path is just trying to live God-like, like be a good person, godly. You don't have to be perfect, but when you do make a mistake, you need to admit it and not sit in your arrogance like he did. Admit that you made a mistake.
He would not admit
and he would not admit that. And it's not like the kids are mistaken. Oh my God, and this, that, and the other. We need to pull that out. But it's just like I could have did better as a parent and decided, you know what?
Instead, he's like,
I'm not going to keep going and just recently had one because I feel like, oh, girl needs to pack up and go if she want to be a wife.
Yeah.
Because she's not going to be his wife.
But she has to heal.
She's not going to serve him into being a wife. You're right.
She has to heal. She has to heal. And I don't know if she's a comedian.
She is a comedian.
She's a comedian?
Mm-hmm. She's an actress too. She on one of the shows I watch. Tyler Perry show. Is it Tyler Perry?
I didn't know. Okay, because I don't watch TV hardly no more. So I was like, is she a comedian or something? But the fact that you have your own career, you could be like, okay, I made this child. Now I'm gonna raise this child. Forget this man. I'm gonna let him be the father that he is. And I'm going to do the best. Because at this point, it's like, do the best for your child. You done brought the child here. You are not serving or helping your child when you're getting on here and it's all about this man. You are trying to win this man's heart. You trying to say, I got him. I changed him. I won. Ha, y'all. Didn't I tell y'all? There is nothing on that man's heart that's saying that he's going to be that.
No.
Not at all. There's nothing. I don't even know how the conversation ended, but there was nothing about that where he was like, you know what? I'm going to give some thought to what you said.
I have been thinking all week about that desire, like how he talked about the marriage and the divorce, but it's just like no desire to be a husband.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I want to get married, but I desire to be a wife. So I'm prepared to do things that a wife would do. So like Jasmine, I'm okay with the serving, and really I'm a giving person. So just like her, it just might be who I am.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing that for just anybody. And I also know what I want in return. And it's more than a Birkin bag. Because I like luxury. I told you I want to travel and do all of these fine things in life and all that, but it's so much more than that. Because can you feed me mentally, spiritually? Can we sit here butt naked, not like naked like we about to do it and just talk with nothing? If the money and everything is wiped away and all we have is each other, what does our life look like? What is our connection like? I am really trying to be with somebody that make me feel like I'm being with myself. When it say one flesh, that's what I really want to feel like. Like, this is just me. me.
Yeah, that's.
And when you look at him, you see me because we just won.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I want him to have a desire to be a husband and to be that person that I need him or need my husband to be, but I need to see clearly to see if the characteristics that I'm looking for, if he even meets that. Kim ain't ready to be married. It don't matter about no marriage or no divorce because you ain't even disciplined right now.
At all.
Shit, you gotta be disciplined.
That man believes that his
shit don't stink and he got money. Sorry, okay, let me let you go.
He think that it's in his penis and his money, and he good, basically, and which makes me look at him like, you so unattractive because you don't have anything on the inside of you that make you realize your daddy a preacher, which means you know the word, you know God, and you still just like, you know what? Nothing pricks your heart to say, let me think about this. Let me think.
So he don't know the word. He's just heard it.
Bingo.
He just heard it.
He's heard it.
He's heard the word. He's heard those teachings, but he doesn't know it for himself yet.
Yeah, he's heard it. He's heard it.
He hasn't made that how I be in commune with God. Like he ain't sitting there like, oh, it's my God. How we talked last week. Like he not having those confident conversations.
I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for him that he is going to keep repopulating because he'll probably have another baby. He said he want more. He'll probably have another baby, more children. And when he finally does meet his wife, if they have children together, that child will have the family. Because these kids now, you going by, you making sure you paying these women bills or they ain't wanting for nothing. But raising them, to raise them, you have to spend time. Like you said, commune with God.
It's a mental thing.
You can't just go out to eat with your kids and think you raising them.
You have to have conversations.
You have to have.
And you got to be an example. Again.
You have to live a life of example for them. You have to just, everything that you do, your child watches.
And then if you out here putting on the persona, you gotta that kid needs to know that. Like, I don't know, everything needs to be transparent because I don't want to be like, oh, I'm just toxic. Like, okay, this is the best way I can say it. I don't want to come on here and I tell you that God led me to start wrapping my hair, which I was just doing when I was praying. And then now I'm doing it more and more. And almost all the time, even when I went to the concert with my friend, I still wore my hair like that. I can't just do that for this. And then I'm out here twerking.
Yeah.
And which I twerk, but I have my head wrapped. Okay. So I'm still being true to who I am.
Who you are.
To the window, to the wall. But you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, so when Jordan asked me about it and told me, it's just like, I was transparent with what I was doing. Just like when your son took me to the side and was just like, I noticed you've been doing this all the time. So is it a religious thing? But it's just one of those, I can't be out here like, you the most toxic person in America, but then when you come home, you different. You different.
And that's why,
like, we need to understand the dynamics and what's real and what's fake. And I feel like he opened the door, putting a lot of us in his business where we really saw who he was. It wasn't like he really believed that this shit was okay.
He did. He thought it was okay. Yeah. I realized that in my lifestyle, when I, gave my life completely and surrendered to God, and I knew I could not do things in front of my kids and things that's not even like super bad in front of my children. And my daughter asked me the other day, she was getting ready for school. I came down the stairs. She was like, why do you be getting up so early? Because she get up early because she be getting herself together. Okay. She said, why are you up so? I said, oh, this is my time with with God. I said I like to get my day started most days. I don't be successful every day, but with prayer and reading something. Then just this morning, she asked me, "Are you ever going to listen to music in the car again?" Because she wear beats in the car. Because I don't listen to anything. I like silence. And I said to her, which I've said before, I said, "This is the time where I listen." I said to God, I said, where I used to be like, just out of habit, turn it on. And, I said, this is the time where I'm listening and I'm disciplined with that, because not all the time am I getting something from him. Sometimes I just want quiet. And so she's starting to notice the lifestyle changes that I make,
And you're communicating about
and
it.
I'm
And that's the
communicating
thing,
about
the
it.
communication.
Yeah, we talk
We
about
need
it.
to talk to our
We
kids.
need
Our
to talk
kids
to them,
need to talk to us. They need to know that they can talk to us.
And I hope that his children, I mean, I don't know the ages of his kids, but that is online now. They're going to see that one day.
Yeah.
And I hope that his sons don't think that that's normal for a man to think that way.
I really hope that at some point his heart is pricked and he really sees what he needs to work on so he can want to be that husband and then get married, and the marriage topples the divorce or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that for our entire community that we just become better as people, because we're stronger when we're better. We're stronger together instead of creating more brokenness in different areas.
Yeah.
Even supporting other businesses and stuff. It's so much brokenness in our community in general that this right here, it needs to start at home.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to start at home. How are we going to come together out in the world? We ain't even coming together at home.
That part. Because a lot of people, my family, it seems closer than ever now, and we always was close, but now when you really put God in the center of it, when you really put him in the center of it, it alleviates a lot of the brokenness, the trauma, the issues, the whatever. Well, it alleviates a lot of that, because you start to realize it's helping our children. And I don't want the next generation to be as broken. Even though I was in a marital home, I had trauma, church trauma, relationship trauma. I'm trying to alleviate that from my children, from my nephews, from your nieces. Wherever they see us, let them see joy and peace and God's love when they see us. Let them see whatever it is that she got. Because I know that there are people over the years that I've grown up.
I want to say this. You know what I want everybody else to see too?
Mm-hmm.
That it's okay in your singleness. I seen somewhere it was just like a woman can't say that she not happy single if she ain't got no man or something like that. I can't remember what it was. And it was like, I kind of felt that because I think humans want companionship, period. Male or female, we want a companion. But we need to be okay within ourselves. You got to be okay within yourself first to be okay to come together.
I'm so okay with
and being okay within yourself is knowing when to admit that you got some work to do.
Yeah.
It's knowing how to take that criticism.
Y'all be not wanting to admit that y'all need work.
Yeah, you gotta take it. My friend put me in check all the time on when, no, you shouldn't have did that. No. You need people in your life. Not everybody that's cheerleading you to do the ignorant shit that you're doing. You need somebody that's gonna be like, no, you shouldn't have did that. And you need to get to a point to when that somebody saying that to you, it's your own damn self.
Yeah.
Because that's when God is convicting you. When you're struggling with your own self, that's when you know, like, oh, I need to switch this up. That's when I be like, oh, let me open up your Psalms right now. Because
that ain't nothing but the truth. Well, I'm telling you, I knew in my heart I was right about a lot of stuff, but the other part of my heart wanted to prove to people.
I told you.
And I don't want to prove anything. You don't got to prove
nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
You just know.
I
you can find comfort and joy in knowing without even telling and making announcements. Because what needs to be seen will be seen.
You don't, when I got to the point where I didn't have to prove my joy, peace, happiness, that I just felt it on the inside of myself, that's when I knew, oh, I'm ready.
Oh, we have
now.
an hour.
I'm healed. Yeah, girl, I could have. You know, this is a conversation we can keep talking about.
Yeah, girl,
but we gonna stop because, like I said, I was thinking about it. And I said, man, this is a topic that I want to talk to my friend about.
Yeah, it was heavy on my mind because, you know, the first person I thought of, and then I just was just like, oh my God. And then I was thinking about the women too, not just the men, but the women with the 3 different baby daddies or more.
Yeah, like because it's the same thing. They're creating broken homes as well. But when you realize it, and not saying that you forever be broken.
I'm gonna be in a broken home, right?
When you realize and you get healed and you like, you know what?
Because when I tell you I'm trying to mend back, there's plenty of pieces that I can.
Yeah.
So I can watch my baby bloom. He a grown ass man, but so I can watch him bloom.
Say he a grown ass man. Listen, we want y'all to like, listen, and subscribe and make comments. Tell us what you think about this topic. I know some of y'all be calling us and telling us, but I want you to
yeah, make some comments so she can tell me what y'all said. Right. I ain't reading them.
Listen, make comments. Tell us what you think. What your opinions are about this subject. And, you know, if you have created a broken home, because, like I said, my children in a broken home.
Yeah, I don't look at it. I came from a broken home.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't still feel like we stand in the brokenness.
Yeah.
When you realize
together.
Listen, that's what we want Cam to do. We want him to realize his brokenness because I don't think he see the broken home. When you realize the brokenness, then you can make the positive changes. Like, listen, subscribe, share it with a friend, and we see y'all next week.